Well, I've asked her. Let's see whether she replies later on. You're recording now? Good. Hello, I am Mr. Cultist. Here to talk to you about why Alexis Kane, also known as Alexis the Eager Queen, cancelled Ask Cultist Han. For starters, she didn't feel like doing it anymore. I can fully respect that decision because if you look at my YouTube history, it's sort of random with massive spurts between Mr. Cultist episodes. Another reason is because, well, if you look at Cultist Chan, she's basically a woman who walks around in her underwear. And she got comments about it, people stalked her, and the reason why I know her real name is Alexis Kane is because she befriended, well not quite befriended, but I sent her a friend request and she accepted it, and it seemed like she was doing that for all her fans. And that's kind of her own, I wouldn't say it's her own fault, but it's like it's a reason why people were able to stalk her that far. Another thing that's kind of interesting is that she's, I believe she is slowly isolating herself from the 40k community, because like she did an interview with Remlays, and that's how most people found out about her, and then she did Ask Cultist Chan, and that's how they stuck with her, and how she got all the subscribers. Also, according to her, Ask Cultist Chan was Remlays' idea. Anyway, not sure if that interview is still up or something. Anyway, she did an interview with Arch, and then when the sort of Warhammer Adventures was announced, she started making fun of him, which is a bit weird. Could be jovial shading or something, but meh. Another thing that she's done recently is drop out of Adeptus Podcastus, which is a podcast series she, Remlays and Tactica Imperialis founded, and she just dropped it. Like, she just didn't want to do it anymore. No, it's kind of a weird thing. She's just slowly... What the... Go away from her. Yeah, she's just isolating herself slowly, and I think the last big 40k name she did was... Like, she did something with was Wargaming Girl. And that's... It was about 2 months ago, and I don't expect her to do a guest appearance every month or something, but she is kind of getting away. So, in short, she doesn't want to do it anymore. She got sexual comments, and I think she's trying to isolate herself, or I'm not sure what she's doing really. I guess. How much time do I have? Okay, 6 minutes. Just my camera records only in 10-minute bursts. Bit weird. Anyway. Also, there's a lot of flies everywhere. Anyway, the source for the majority of my information, apart from the isolation bit, is from Max Allen, the guy who plays Mr. Space Marine. Thing is, he said she's kind of agreeable, so I think that throws my isolation theory into doubt. But she is sort of moving away from, like, the famous names of 40k. And he did say it's a sad tragedy that she had to throw the character out the way. And now the only two bits of evidence, I think, of it ever existing is my video of screenshots from her and Mr. Space Marine's response video. Yeah, it's like if you want a source for like to know that he actually said that, he said it on a live screen when I asked him, and he did say it's a sad tragedy, like all the possibilities. And I know that some of the questions, especially mine, where it's like, is Nurgle done with melting Isha's face off, or has he moved on to her butt? Mr. Space Marine actually recorded that one. Damn. Anyway, thinking of Mr. Space Marine, I now outnumber his episodes. Hooray! Also, new format. The script is right here. Like PowerPoint thing. Anyways, Mr. Cultist signing out. Well, let's see what Alexis Kane's opinions are. Oh dear. I'm not going to get anything from her.
I'm already thinking up an interesting story. My Cultist episode 6 is about Alexis Kane. A piss orgasm. You know what? Okay, John the Crazed. Alexis Kane, otherwise known as Ego Queen Alexis, or previously known as Beep. I mean, I've had a few conversations with her, and I mean, I want to say she's one of the more reasonable people that I've ever spoken with, to be absolutely honest. There are some people who are so knee-jerk reactionary and are ultimately final that I found them almost disturbing. But Alexis, I want to say this wholeheartedly. Alexis is one of the most fair people that I've ever encountered. I mean, out of all the people that I've ever run into, seriously, absolutely serious, she is one of the most reasonable people. She'll listen to what you're saying. She'll hear you out. She'll listen to what you're saying. She'll hear you out. She'll listen to what you're saying. She'll hear you out. She'll listen to what you're saying. She'll hear you out. She'll listen to what you're saying. She'll hear you out. She'll listen to what you're saying. All right. Well, that ended. So, honestly, seriously, out of all the people that I've encountered in a lot of the online 40K community, there have been a lot of people who have been seriously unreasonable. And I mean, you know, it's great that you're making a video about her. I just hope that you make sure that you mention this is just my wants and needs. Let's just say, and by no expectation or you have to live up to this. she's incredibly reasonable. She'll hear you out. She might chew you out, you know, if she doesn't like what you said or something. But that's fair. I consider Alexis to be not only, as much as I've only spoken with her, I mean, we've spoken so many times, but I consider her to be an invaluable person and friend. I respect her for her choice of work and for the stuff that she's done. And honestly, I like all the power to her, to be absolutely honest. Alexis, the ego queen. Now, I'll take the heat for this. Maybe yes or no. Who knows? We'll see. Sometimes can be a little bit aggressive, a little bit on the heat, and you know, there's been a couple times where I've had to defend, but overall, I would want to say that Alexis Ego Queen is a very based individual who generally knows what they're talking about. I really have no gripes with Alexis or any of her videos. I think it was like a couple of years ago or like a year ago where I don't know, something popped up in my YouTube feed, and then I saw it and I made this Mr. Space Marine video, right? And then that's how her and I became friends. And thinking back on that was a fun thing to do, and it was a good time. Honestly, it was a great experience to be able to not only be able to make this fun little video, but then to meet somebody as a result of that. And no, really, I have like the highest respect for Alexis Ego Queen. I think she's great. I don't really know what to go on about her, else I'm just going to be going like, she's so good and she's so great, but like kind of aggressive. Like, done. That's the whole story. That's the whole story. But yeah, I mean, I would happily do work again with Alexis. I would very happily be involved again with Alexis. That would be fun. She's a very fun, high-spirited person. I really enjoyed that. I mean, there was that video that I made with her. I think it's on her channel, where I was playing Mr. Space Marine, and she was interviewing me. And yeah, a lot of it you can barely understand what I'm saying because I don't even have a mic plugged into the mic. I just have right into the helmet. I mean, I'm just kind of sitting there talking to my screen. It didn't work out that great, but very great spirit, and generally good work. I'm very happy that she became very successful and, you know, launched off to become then associated with certain other high profile 40K bloggers and YouTubers and stuff. So I was happy to be a part of that, if that even connects, like if there was even a thing. I was very happy to be a part of that success story. I know I'm not the most successful, but to have someone else have some sort of lift up, ascendance from that, then I can have a bit of enjoyment from that. So I know my content's not always the greatest. This is absolute shit. And no denial on that. That what I'm making right now, these drunk live streams, absolute shit. But really, No, I'm happy to have contributed to that in some way. I don't know. We'll see how the future looks back on that. John the Crazed says, I'm doing a video about her and why she privated and then deleted her Ask Cultist Chen series. Any insights? I would say make your own views. Make your own perspectives and say what you want to say and what you think. I'll say I've spoken privately with Alexis about that and about that situation. And because I respect her so much, I'm going to leave some of those details private. By some, I don't mean that specifically. I'm not just going to shut up about it. But I'll say what I'm going to say is that due to a certain reactionary response to the Cultist Chen character, there was a choice made to remove the character. I personally, I would have thought that she should have kept the character. She had so much support for the character, and the negativity involved behind it was the negativity behind it shouldn't have been the focus, in my opinion. I honestly thought I really enjoyed the character because, I mean, I've not been a huge follower of the comic book series, the web comic series Cultist Chen, but I really appreciated that she was representing the character very accurately, and I found that really enjoyable, and it's something that I kind of miss. I liked it, and it's sad that it had to go for the reasons that it had to be. With that in mind, I still want to respect that, and it's definitely a shame that it had to go the way that it had to go. I would be in total support of the character returning. I'm sure Mr. Space Marine would be in support of the character returning. And generally, it's not disappointing. I don't want to say it's disappointing because that sounds like a lot of onus gets put on the owner, the creator. But it is disappointing that the character had to be retired in the way that they were. I really think that there could have been a longevity for the character, which could have been very fun and enjoyable. And it's very sad that they were, in a way, forced to retire. Seriously, I have the highest respect for Alexis Eco Queen. The few encounters that we've had off screen, professionally, I've at the time, I've crossed the line. I'm fair to admit that. Anyone who says they haven't crossed the line is lying. And really, I would hope that one day I would be able to see a future for Ego Queen Alexis's Cultist Chan character. I thought that one, the costume was amazing. The character, the representation was great. With or without the lisp. I preferred without the lisp because I found the lisp irritating. But that's just me. And I would hope that she would want to return to that, because I think she had a lot of enjoyment, a lot of freedom in doing that. It was very, I feel like doing that, and anybody can relate to this, I feel, that doing the Cultist Chen character was somewhat of a therapeutic thing where she could open up to anything and make these videos. And I think that people need that sometimes. People need that. And of course, you're going to expect people to be negative, but that just happens. But I really think that was a positive thing. I really enjoyed that.